be a good game. I was just chatting with Goblin about that game. Yeah, we are loaded into this one. And in the bottom or in the top left-hand side, it is BattleB for Berserk.
And in the bottom right, in the red, for Berlin International Gaming, is the other big German, ShoWTimE. And you know, Cats, I'm always just so sad that, yes, Hero Marine has been on Mouse like as long as Mouse has existed. He is one of the longest kind of esports team player combinations that we've ever had. Really in any esport, actually. I saw there was a list, I think, that went out last year. He's like 12 years or something. But I mean, you're missing. Berlin International Gaming is missing out on such an opportunity here, right? Like, it could literally be Big Dot Gabe.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Gabe is insane. I mean, I'm just talking about that game with Goblin because it's such an interesting discussion, I think. Apparently, like, just to talk a little bit more about that series, it was more, like, from the feel of this conversation, it was more Goblin reacting to Strange's builds and all in than Strange reacting to Goblin, basically, is the vibe that I'm getting from Goblin. So he said he was trying to craft a response, and it worked in game one, right? But then Strange obviously changed his build. And what I was proposing to Goblin is the same thing that I proposed on the cast, which is I don't think you can hold with 2 disruptors, right? Because, like, think about it, right? In my mind, if you have enough stalkers to one-shot a disruptor, 2 is never enough, because either you have to fire both shots at the same time and then you open yourself up for the duration because it's relatively easy to dodge, right? Like 2 shots if you just fire them preemptively. Or you fire 1 and then the stalkers blink forward, pick off the disruptor in 1 shot, and then, you know, as that's happening, you have to react with a second shot, by which time it is too late because the stalkers on their next shot will still kill the next disruptor in time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I don't see any other play, right? It's either you fire both at the same time or you fire 1 at a time, and if there's enough stalkers, they always pick off the disruptor. So this is what I proposed. You were saying it was like because the Phoenix kind of spots the stalkers, right? And then they're able to jump on them. And Goblin is of the same mind initially in our conversation, where he's like, well, I got caught off position. I'm like, yeah, but even if you didn't, can you actually hold? And he was like, I don't know, because I'm crafting a response on the fly. And we're kind of arriving at the end of the conversation to, yeah, if you don't have 4 disruptors, you just can't do it, or 3 disruptors at least. Like with the 2, it's just, I don't see how there's any situation where, you know, you don't get 1 shot on both disruptors and then that's all your net worth. And it's so much investment, right, into the robo, into both of the units, which are pretty expensive, and the robo bay, and that all goes to nothing on 2 volleys of stalkers.
Although, in fairness, as that timed out as this Reaper will go down, I mean, obnoxious with the bunker, but really not that bad. As the fight hit, right, there were 2 disruptors, and there was the 3rd one that was just about done. So you do wonder, right, if the stalkers blink forward, they're killing those disruptors, which means they're splitting their DPS. Maybe there's some way, and again, I think if you are able to position a little bit better, that may allow you to buy enough time. Like, you put your stalkers a little bit further forward to keep the disruptors back, then you will have 3 disruptors out by the time that push really happens. But because the disruptors were the stalkers weren't buffering for the disruptors, and also, again, the disruptors were known, like Strange saw them, you knew exactly where he had to go. That between the 2 of those things is lock on. He's not going to get this Oracle. Because you have the vision disadvantage and maybe some poor stalker positioning, there was not time for that 3rd disruptor to come out.
For sure. If you buy enough time for the 3rd disruptor and the extra gateways to come online, right, you have more buffer to where if they blink onto you, you're outputting more damage from the 3rd disruptor shot, and B, the extra units that you would have, right? Because the threshold doesn't change for the blink stalker player. They have the amount that they need to one-shot a disruptor, and that doesn't really grow, right? Like it doesn't matter if you have another warping of stalkers, they're still all gonna shoot at the 1 disruptor because it's impossible to micro all but 3, and 3 would, you know, deal an insignificant amount of damage anyway. But yeah, I think 3 is still kind of a gray area, right? Because what happens with 3 is kind of the same-ish as 2, only you land the 3rd shot. So it's like, do you trade 1 disruptor shot for 3 disruptors, Robo and Robo Bay? Right? It still seems like it has to be a huge shot for it to actually like make a difference. So that's why like we thought like 4 is probably like a good number to have, but I think 3 obviously like it's maybe you don't lose outright, right?
Yeah, that's fair, but we do need to talk about this game right now because a lot of stuff has happened. Oracle's dead. The pressure from BattleB, he loses the Cyclone very quickly, which is not what you're looking for. In fact, I think he lost 2. But, oh, he's holding high ground here. Stim, Stalkers, though, they're just going to blink away. Really shouldn't lose much of anything here. ShoWTimE just kind of flexing on him. Obio, Stim's on top. Another Cyclone arrives. This is not really working out for BattleB as he continues to rally across. And Cats, at this point, I mean, I almost feel like this push is stalling up, but like Marauders are getting at it in. Finally, we have Medivacs and, ooh, Stalkers. Maybe they can get trapped in here. They're going to stay on high ground for quite a while.
Yeah, and Concussive Shell's barely not done for another 2 seconds or so. So unfortunate they're not going to get to punish any of those Stalkers on the Concussive Shell grenade. And yeah, BattleB taking a few losses here on the other side, but he's not hyper committed by the looks of it, right? Drops his 3rd on location. He's going to be a little bit behind, no doubt, even though the supply puts him ahead for the time being. He's going to start falling behind economically. But it is not all said and done as ShoWTimE sets up his beautiful standard perimeter of pylon.
Yeah, this is certainly a quicker 3rd base than you could get. So, yes, BattleB is behind economically. He's down. What is that? 8 workers, something like that. But it's still a 7. It's still like a base that's going down right around that 6-minute mark, which in a TVP is, you know, on the slightly faster side of things while you're still putting aggression on. And now all the upgrades are done. Now Stim's up onto the high ground, but with a shield, 2 shield batteries and a cannon, no tanks here, nothing to really dislodge this. I don't know BattleB is going to be able to get that much done, at least not from this angle, right?
Difficult to imagine, but he does bait out 2 force fields already, right? Which is nothing in and of itself, as ShoWTimE will spot this with his perimeter of pylons. 5 Stalkers waiting in the main, so quick and load here on the side of BattleB is important because otherwise he might get punished by a blink forward from the other army, which now we're seeing on screen as it does blink forward to pick off 1 of those Medivacs. The Medivacs attempt at repositioning far enough from the Stalkers, but close enough to continue to heal the bio as fast as possible. On the other side, it looks like ShoWTimE is actually going to take another engagement before BattleB is fully set up with the mines. And this trade's not too bad on this side for BattleB, not great either, but on the other side, he's going to get crushed.
Have you heard, like, they call ShoWTimE the wall for a reason. I mean, he holds off on all this pressure. BattleB has tried it 3 or 4 times, and none of it, absolutely none of it, has found anything as the Widow Mines. They're going to get like a Zealot each. And now BattleB has kind of tired himself out, like a baby kicking and screaming, trying to find some attention. But now he's going to go for a nice nap. This game 1 does not seem like it's going to last all that much longer. ShoWTimE takes no damage, and his Stalkers and Zealots run across the map, and they kill the German Terran for the most part. 17 SCVs hit the deck. And it's rare that we have just a solid example of why ShoWTimE is just known as this defensive maven, but man, what an absolute object lesson here.
Yeah, Maven, you said?
Maven.
I'm gonna Google that one. That sounds cool. Maven definition. Is it with a V?
Yes, M-A-V-E-N. And if I...
An expert or connoisseur. Very
there we
cool.
go.
In informal American. Informal North American even. Wow. Very niche.
Mm-hmm. Well,
very cool.
Luckily, I am informally North American. Actually, formally, I'm also North American, so it works out.
Yeah, lovely. But yeah, completely agreed. I mean, I love that ShoWTimE also shows some proactivity there as soon as he recognizes that he has enough on the front, right? So he definitely was the wall, but then turns into the Star Wars wall that almost killed Han Solo, I think, or someone, you know, like where it has like spines and starts closing in on you.
Yeah, it's like when you go and you find a wall, right, in the woods that used to be a house 100 years ago, and it's clearly decrepit a little bit. Although, again, ShoWTimE's not decrepit, but bear with me. And then you start kind of kicking to the base of the wall. You're like, I wonder if I can knock this wall down, right? And then the wall just crushes you flat because you kicked it down. But you kick the base of it down, and it just goes right on top of you. And that's kind of what happened with ShoWTimE there. BattleB tried to kick at the foundations, and he kind of forgot that there was a full, like, multiple tons of stonework just kind of hanging above his head. And
absolutely.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, bees don't usually do that well against stone, right? Can't sting it.
Yeah, that's true. And even carpenter bees, they only really work with wood for the most part. But that being said, maybe he's got more in him. There were a couple of things in that game where it's just like, I don't think BattleB had to take those losses. But for now, we're going to have to find out because game 2 is on Babylon.
Babylonia. And spawning in the top left-hand side. His name is Tobias. Goes by the name ShoWTimE for Berlin International Gaming.
And on the bottom right, the young German Terran in the blue. He's playing for Berserker Esports, looking to continue to overperform here in ESL Masters. BattleB.
What is Tobias in German? Like I said, Tobias?
Something like that.
Tobias?
I think so. We need we need to bring ShoWTimE on after this. Just like, hey, ShoWTimE, can I get like a voice clip of your name so when I introduce you, we have you saying your own name and it's fine.
Yeah, and I also have a little bit of a Tobias towards ShoWTimE on this match.
That's fair. I think we all do. But by the way, did you know that ShoWTimE is not? And one of the fun things, you know, when you're kind of getting things set up for production or you're doing your research, did you know that ShoWTimE is the second Protoss player that has gone by the name ShoWTimE? And that there was a now long retired Korean Protoss player who also went by ShoWTimE with not quite the same capitalization, but very similar. He was a...
I don't remember this player, but I believe you.
I mean, Liquipedia tells me that there was a Korean Protoss player by the name of ShoWTimE.
Like competitor? Like a competitor?
He has a Liquipedia page, so clearly he was competing in some way, shape, or form.
I mean, what are his results? Does he have any?
Honestly, I didn't click on it. I just typed in ShoWTimE and
winnings
in Liquipedia search, and it said, do you mean ShoWTimE or ShoWTimE? Like, there's another ShoWTimE?
I'm gonna do this research while you do this opening.
Excellent. Well, for now, what is this? It's just gonna be your standard Terran opening here. Did he get a Reaper? No. Okay, Submarine opener into Reactor, BattleB, unlocking a little bit more aggression than you might otherwise expect from a Reaper opener or something. You save the gas there, and this often leads into like a Widowmine drop, something like that, which is not all that great because ShoWTimE has gone Stargate, and if he opts to go for Phoenix play, it's going to be not really all that fun. But hey, you know, maybe Oracles, something opens it up a little bit more. And Cats, I heard you laugh. Do you have this other ShoWTimE?
Yeah, I have information. I mean, he has no profile picture. He is Korean, which is probably his best credentials as far as StarCraft is concerned. But he has no winnings, no tournament performances. Like the only thing that it says on Wikipedia is he joined FX Open, which was a good team, and then he left like 5 months after and announced retirement in 2013. So yeah, I don't know if we count that as a ShoWTimE because he doesn't count.
I feel like that's something where we got to go look at the Brood War wikis. Oh, Adepts find their way into the National. One very low. But they're going to get some SCVs anyways because, I mean, BattleB pushed hard on the map here, so one Adept goes down. Second one is going to shade out. Very nice. Get a couple SCVs, keep one alive, and get the full scout. And get damage done on this Hellion, so it's not going to get a scout. Oh, no. Oh, okay. Never mind.
The attack there. No, he should not have gotten it. And that nice avoid on the probe as well. Though ShoWTimE wasn't paying attention to it regardless. Will get a couple of shots, but needs 3. Only gets 1, actually. Okay, find space onto the natural, perhaps, but not going to take it as the Oracle was distracted him on the other side of things. But, yeah, nice opening for ShoWTimE.
Yeah, and behind this BattleB does seem to be kind of rocketing into that same... the same way he wanted to play in game 1, right? Although this time, okay, yeah, he's still gonna, at least he's gonna have the tech lab on the factory, second barracks going down. But this time it's a 3-1-1, right? We're not gonna have that 2-1-1 Marine 2 or 3 Cyclone pressure that, quite honestly, got nothing done as this Oracle just, there we go, drops the Revelation. So BattleB playing a little bit more standard here in this game. Number 3's got a Raven on the way. How many Phoenix? Okay, ShoWTimE actually, he had a Phoenix in production, but he canceled it. And that's actually, that's pretty good news for the Raven, right? It means that it is not likely to go down. It will find value in this game in some way, shape, or form.
Some way, shape, or form, indeed. So that should be exciting to see what this Raven can accomplish. Maybe just looking for a timing here against the fatter units to come out of the robo later on. Maybe looking to put on some harassment, as there's already a stasis trap in the middle of the map for ShoWTimE, anticipating potential aggression in this mid game. And he might be right to do so, as BattleB is not really dropping a third CC, but he is adding double gas in the natural.
Yeah, so kind of two different stories here, right? Double gas says, expand third base, but the lack of a third kind of tells another story. Although, Cats, in fairness, especially with a 3-1-1 timing like this, we don't expect to see a third base until 6:30, 7:30, something like that. Kind of as the Terran moves out, and that's kind of they tend to take the third base behind that. And ShoWTimE is got to be aware of this. I mean, his charge is halfway done. He's adding in Phoenix once again, so it's Phoenix charge lot and a bunch of Immortals here, which really is, again, one of these setups that says, hey, BattleB, take your third, don't move out, you're gonna get swallowed up here, allow your opponent to stay on their like tier 1.5 level tech. There we go. Hey, nice scout on the observer, knocking that down. But allow ShoWTimE to bulk up on his low tier tech, build a bunch of Widow Mines, get into a Ghost Academy, something like that, and just take the game later when ShoWTimE's army will technically outscale itself.
No, yeah, I think BattleB has to go for a timing of some kind, right? Because he invested so much into production, and that is why you cannot afford the third, right? Is you've put so much money into production that if you were to drop a third and start producing SCVs, you wouldn't be able to actually use the money that you invested into production. So nice scan here from BattleB. A lot of it is going to come down to these mines, actually. As you mentioned, there is charge already out on the side of ShoWTimE, and the first couple of mines not really finding any connections, and in fact have already gone down. But the same can be said for the Disruptor, who does not connect. So BattleB looking for perhaps a timing to exploit that right now. Raven! Oh no!
Oh no, that's actually fantastic. He gets the shutdown on the Disruptor that doesn't have, or that does have a shot, but even still, it's Zealots versus Bile that doesn't really feel all that great at these stages. Disruptor goes out now, gets like one Marine. Actually, BattleB hot pickups here, and he's gonna look to move in once again. Second shot goes out. It's gonna get the Widow Mines, and you gotta figure that's the end of this push, right?
I would think so. I mean, that was such a heavy commitment, though. BattleB is going to drop a third on location, but this already feels pretty bad. He was definitely hoping to accomplish a lot more with that. I mean, the Phoenix is doing fantastic against the Widow Mines. Did he just kill his own Marauder?
He did just kill his own Marauder.
Very
clearly a traitor to the cause.
Quite clearly, as now the Widow Mines are burrowing in the back, but there are Disruptors available. No, BattleB, no! That's it.
Well, if that push was not over, it is over now. And actually, there's nothing to stop these Phoenix from chasing this entire thing down. I mean, pick up in a medevac, right? You can boost away, but that's 2 dead medevacs here. The Phoenix will continue to chase. And again, BattleB, he kicked the wall, but ShoWTimE is just going to come falling right down on top of him. This is just, again, the pressure's not really working all that well, despite the nice shutdown there on the fresh Disruptor. And at this point, there's no way this third base stays up, but I don't think ShoWTimE's going to stop at that.
No, I mean, this game's over, right? Like, it's pretty much impossible for BattleB to do anything from this point on. So he is going to have to tap out, and ShoWTimE will destroy him this